inside the circle, Darby District breakdown. Sean, one of the best Darby districts I've ever been a part of. Right here, right now, this year.
Okay.
Can I explain why?
Sure.
Well, you're going to anyway, Mark. That's just the way you are.
That's
Sean,
right.
We had 4 mats down in the square. Normally it's 3+1 and the L, and they running into the side of the bracket. That's never a good thing. Also, coaches, competitors, teammates, all standing right along those 2 mats that are exposed. It's just a lot of people.
I agree.
This year, nobody comes in, and I mean nobody, without somebody escorting them in. You're up next, they're gonna escort you into your mat, and otherwise no one else is in here. I actually watched the coach get kicked out. Not kicked out, he got removed from the wrestling floor area.
Was it the assistant coach for Lancaster?
It was the assistant coach for Lancaster. He's sitting there watching matches, just doing his thing, and the guy's like, hey, do you got a kid on deck? And he's like, no. He's like, you're gonna have to go back there. And I was like, dude, these guys are serious. Anywho, Sean, aside from what's going on in the gym, there's a holding area, the bullpen where the mat is and the team tables. They have a huge inflatable screen that has all 4 mats being projected onto it.
That's pretty cool.
Absolutely
That's pretty
fantastic. Sean, your immediate thoughts of this year's Darby District?
Well, I think you hit on it. I like the format of the mats. I think it's more fan-friendly, and I think it's more wrestling-friendly. Like you said before, man, we were all just kind of packed in there like sardines.
Yes.
To be able to have a more open atmosphere, I think was a great. Somehow, if we can hybrid this to what we had with the fans, would be awesome. And maybe somehow with this situation, we can come up with that.
I like that, Sean. I like that. Well, let's talk about some wrestling that occurred. We're going to go, what do you want to do? Top 10, top 7, top 5?
Yeah, let's go top 10 here. Let's see what's the top 10 heading into day 2.
10 heading into day 2. Watkins Memorial, 37.5 points. They have a semifinalist in Capper. They have like a handful of guys coming back on the backside.
Yeah, they got a lot of, we call them Constellation Warriors.
Constellation Warriors hitting it up. Sean, this is a team we talked about, tied for 8th place. Westland with 40 points. They're tied with Lancaster right now. Westland, 2 semifinalists. Right now. They got 1 guy coming back on the backside. Is that right?
No, they got
three.
Three
Yes.
semifinalists. They got Jude, the 106. They have Hurley, and they have your boy Mullins.
Mullins, big time shout out for him. L-Town with 40 points as well. 7th place, a team that we thought honestly, they were up there at the right at the break. Upper Arlington in 7th place with 41.5 points.
They're a team of Sessions.
They are a team of Sessions.
They're going to get on a Friday, they're going to come back, and they're going to come back. So
I love that. That's a great way. Sean, what about this? 6th place, Olentangy Orange. I saw about 2 or 3 kids from Olentangy Orange do something that I don't think we had. Like, they won a match that we didn't think they were going to win. So
I'm sure a lot of teams have done that today.
Yes. Hey, the Prove Us Wrong campaign is getting us a lot of evil looks. They had 46.5 points. And here's another team that we talked about a whole lot this season. Tays Valley, 51.5 points. Doing great. Wonderful job from those guys. They had 1 slip up, I think, maybe 2. But other than that, man, they're really wrestling tough.
Yeah.
I got no complaints from Tays Valley. Westerville North, 59.5 points. How are they getting all these half points? Westerville North going to have 45 with Uten. Going to have
Albertini, yeah.
Of course.
Again, going back through the
Consolations. He's in the semis.
Ole had a great tournament for them today at 120. Made him way to the semifinals, so he'll be a district place at minimum.
Very tight match with Thornton, I do believe. It's a great match. We might have been Thornton. Man, there's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff going on in my brain. Sean, 3rd place. Can you guess who it is? No clue at this point.
Yes.
67.5 points. Marysville. That's absolutely correct. 67.5 points. Another group of guys that are really battling hard. We'll talk about one of their studs here in a minute. Did a great job. 2nd place, Olentangy Liberty with 77.5 points. Another group of guys that are showing up, ready to wrestle, doing quite well. And our top pick, Dublin Kaufman with 95.5. Sean, they're sitting at 95.5. We're going to start picking up finalist points. We're going to start picking up those consolation points with placers. Can they eclipse the 200-point mark?
Well,
sitting right now,
I do have a small wager on them doing it, so I'm going to say yes. But I think there is one key: they haven't lost anybody so far.
That's huge. Got to have those consolation
warriors. You got 10 people, so basically everybody on their team is 1 match away from being placed. I mean, the semifinals are, but all your consolation warriors are still 1 match away from placing. So
excellent.
They will tie the record.
Oh, nice.
They will tie the record of the 2017 team.
Sean, right now I want to go through some brackets, and along the way I'm going to stop and point out some of my top performers on the day.
Okay.
Just tell us who our semifinalists are. Tell us what you saw there.
Well, we'll break down weight classes as they appear at this point. 106 is kind of going to form here. I mean, Roselli and Havens look like they're on a collision course for each other. Both are wrestling good, but watch out for Judy. Might have something to say in there.
Watch out.
Going to 13, another weight. Capper, AU, Wilson, Thomas. Again, according to form, we all had those four. They're kind of holding up the line there, so they're doing as well. 120, got some pandemonium here at 120, Mark. We talked about all getting out to the semifinals.
Yes.
Give me another guy that's really having a great time.
I would love to. Well, we got Lee up top, and we also have Liam Plants from Lincoln Heights. Now, watch this. Last week, he beats Sheets in the semifinals at the sectional tournament. Then he beats Ole in the finals. Ole's now a semifinalist.
And Sheets is still in it.
Then he comes around, and guess who he beats in the semifinals today?
Quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals. Swin Sicky from New Albany. Sean, this kid is having the weekends of his life. He's got to keep it going if he wants to make the finals and do great things.
He really can. He's got a tough opponent tomorrow, and Cerny of
Marion Harding.
Yes. Moving along
126.
126. I think the big surprise there for everyone is Orlando and Gooding. Not that it's a huge surprise. We talked about Orlando has this phenomenal ability, can go with anyone. Well, he showed today he can't go with anyone. Though the first 20 seconds of that match is kind of a head scratcher to me. But Orlando, good shout out, man. You put yourself in great position to face Hustler tomorrow to punch your ticket to the state tournament.
Let's move up to 132. 132 pounds.
We have 3 solid semifinalists there. We have Ford, Fabella, and Burton.
And there's no other semifinalists?
Oh, wait a minute. There is a semifinalist, Shankman from Brighton. Come on, it's the last time we get a chance to do this, so we're going to do that.
Hey, he's been doing a great job, too. He's
doing a
really
great job.
wrestling.
That's a weight that's going to form as well.
138 pounds, got a huge.
If there was a wrestler of the day, it was Lincoln Hurd. My God, he just put it to Graham for 6 minutes. I think if they wrestled for 100 minutes, it would have been like 462 to 8. I mean, he just came out, like his hair was on fire. This guy just wanted to, man, what's up with this guy? This is like the 3rd year in a row. He's probably going to become a state qualifier and have him picked out.
Yeah, you're supposed to give him a shirt.
I think I should give him like a sweatshirt, some shorts, a baseball cap, probably
lampshade,
coaster,
iPhone cover, a coaster.
Yes. But he truly was by far the wrestler of the day. My God, congratulations, Lincoln. You really shined in a gym full of stars. You shine brightest today. So good job, buddy.
Excellent work. 145 pounds, of course, anchored by the John Brown Wrestler of the Year award, Connor Uten. Absolute hammer. He was on my mat for a match. The kid never breaks position, and he's always scoring.
Yeah, it's another weight good. It looks like it's going according to form there. Nothing crazy. 1, 2, 3, and the 5 beats the 4 there. So pretty much the form there. Moving on to 52. Again, it goes through Giuliano. He's holding course. But Will Hurley, we're going to have a rematch from the sectional semifinals last week. That's a good showing. And your boy Miller there from Old Tangent Orange, punching his ticket out to the
huge
semifinal.
win in the
quarters. You talked about Old Tangent Orange having a good showing today. He's one of the people that helped him get up the bad there. Let's go to 160.
Let's do it.
Coach has been telling me there at Delaware they like Hollandale from
Holiday.
Delaware there. Sophomore, he's in the semifinals. Nap. Who is Chris Carr Jr.?
Well, it's interesting that you would ask me that. Reynoldsburg says, hey, we've got more up our sleeve, but we're not going to mention their name. We want them to come out and earn it. So not like Matt Stouts, but here he is.
Yeah.
This is the guy that they were talking about. Everybody's talking about Dawkins. Everybody's talking about, and then this kid slips right in. Chris Carr Jr., Sean. Yeah, semifinals.
Big win over Gala there in the quarterfinals. Maybe... Was that 2? Was it not 2? I don't know, but the reads on the sheet it was 2. So
that's right.
He's moving on to the semifinal. Great job by him.
170 pounds.
170 pounds there. Again, Mark, anything crazy jump out at you there?
No, I will say this. I think it's Hilliard Bradley, 170 pound, or I'm sorry, Hilliard Davidson, Hilliard Davidson, Lawrence at the bottom.
Yep.
Really grinded out a 6-minute match on your mat, as a matter of fact. Grinded it out, and it ends up with the win, and now he's a semifinalist. Did a great job.
I think of the 4 competitors still alive in the top bracket, those are the most even 4 of all the weight classes.
Gotcha.
Powers and Candino obviously could go either way, but Fitz and Lawrence could obviously go either way too. So I think those will be that weight class. I think will, even though maybe it doesn't have the flash at some other weights, I think those will be entertaining weights that people will have their eye on tomorrow afternoon.
Excellent. What about 182?
182, I think this was a 2-horse race. We talked about it. Broski and McDaniel easily moving their way through the bracket. We talked about Jameson from Thomas Worthington. He's also semifinalist with Dempsey as well. So that's kind of form. Nothing crazy out of there. Let's move to 95, Mark.
Let's move to 95. I've got a name I'd like to mention. Give me my semifinalists.
We have Albertini,
taking on
Gates, Mullins and Shoemate. Mullins, who's this Mullins
I'm going to
guy?
tell you about Mullins. Mullins is down 10-2 on his back.
First round.
In the first round, flips him over, gets the pin. Then he turns around and he's doing, it's not quite as bad, but he's in a situation, gets a reversal. It's so tight, the reversal is. The arms are stuck across the chest. Pin. My boy's a semifinalist. Talk about a kid who has transformed not only his body, his wrestling ability, but his life. I mean, the kid is coming out of nowhere and doing a great job.
Hey, it's a good time to do that, too.
Yes, it is. Let's go to 220, Sean.
220, I think we have a little bit of surprise there. Obviously, Russo, Nelson, and Wilson. Almost most people who filled out their whiteboard predictions have them there. But what about Mara from Westerville Central?
And you know what's funny about this? This is what I thought. I thought back to, you said Westerville Central coaches at the beginning of the season, they love their team. They love their team, hard workers, and now we're seeing a couple of kids
more,
do
some other guys.
Steel,
yes. More Steel. They're doing a great job. And they have a lot of
Fantastic
people
work.
wrestling tomorrow as well. So
yes.
good for him.
Heavyweight Sean, big time in it.
Big time heavyweights crazy. I think there was a little bit there. McMillan was 0-2 against Thurston from Tays Valley this year and reverses that really right at the buzzer. I mean,
Yes.
Thurston has that pretty much won, gets reversed to his back in like 10 seconds, loses the match, and Thurston's going to have to fight his way back through the consolation if he wants his punches. Take it there. But Weaver, again, he's doing Weaver things.
He's big.
I don't really see anything maybe crazy going to happen tomorrow. I'm pretty much, he's a lock to make it to at least the finals, and anything can happen from there. But
Yes.
it's heavyweight and anything can happen.
That's true. Sean, anything else?
No, wrestling starts tomorrow at 10.
10 o'clock.
Remember, you can follow it on Track Live, or you can just go to Track anyway and follow it through the bracket if you want updates. Tomorrow, I expect more people to be here because every participant gets 4 people as opposed to 2, so there'll be a little bit more crowd. You
Yeah,
talked about the quietness.
semifinals.
Be a little bit more louder in here tomorrow, too,
Yeah.
so I think it'll be great and be a great day of wrestling. So get out there if you can, get a ticket, and come watch some wrestling tomorrow.
Doggone right. And now you are inside the circle. Woo!